Oh, there's members still down.
You'll be doing it till 7.
Yes, yeah, I'll let you know. It's 3 minutes in. I'm only 10 minutes in. I don't tell me to. It's been you that we take.
That's what
Yeah,
you
I'm just going to find out something on the website. Don't worry about it, watch this. Down at the same time,
Start that group out. So they can do it. Or start letting people in with virtual. Yeah, no. This isn't to that. It's a separate. That's like a
has console.
Well, I didn't send another email out. Oh, you don't get emails, do you? Yeah, okay. Does this work?
Yep,
Hello? Not working. First thing, can everybody hear me? Good, good. Welcome tonight to Hemsworth Town Council's annual meeting and the first meeting of the new council. I'll go straight into the order of business, and that is to elect a temporary chairman to oversee the election of a chairman. So could I have a nominations, please?
I'll nominate you.
Second it?
I'll second it.
All in favour?
Yep, yep.
Can I hand over to you then here to oversee the election?
Thank you. Everyone's hereby summoned to attend the annual meeting of Town Council. Did you switch it on? Yeah. To be held in the main hall, Hemsworth Town Council Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, commencing at 7 o'clock, Thursday the 18th of May, for the purpose of the transaction of the following business. Item 1 is election of the chairman. Can I have some proposers for chairman, please?
Nominate Stan.
Seconder?
I'll second it.
Any objections? Anybody else? No? All in favour? Right. Right, that's my bit done. So I'll pass things over to the new chairman then.
Thank you very much, Ian. And thanks to the councillors for your support. What the hell have you got me into it anyway? The next order of business is to receive the chairman's declaration of acceptance of office. That's me, innit?
Sign that, Mr. Chairman.
It would have been a laugh if you didn't sign it now.
18,512.
Just before we move on to the next item, my name's Stan Bates, and anybody who don't know, I think most of you know me anyway, but this new council have allowed me some licence, which I appreciate, on public question time. So as we move through the agenda, I'm perfectly in order with, if you want to ask a question on that relative to that item on the agenda, we can allow a few minutes to do it. I hope you appreciate that. It's rather than going to public question time and coming back to something we already covered. So if that goes okay, I'm quite free and easy with that kind of thing. You told me not to say that in public.
Yeah, no,
So anyway, the next order of business is apologies for absence.
Councillor Allroyd, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Item 4 is declarations of interest and dispensation requests. Any declarations? Good, good. So then we move on to item 5, which is election of a vice chairman. Any nominations, please?
I'll nominate Maxine Hurd.
Yeah. Seconded?
I'll second it.
Any other nominations?
Ian.
Seconded. Got 2. Is that all nominations? So we'll move to a vote, which will be a show of hands. So can I ask those in favour of Maxine Hurd? 5.
Maxine, it's okay. You voted, Councillor? Yeah.
6 in.
6, yeah.
And Councillor Ian
Yes.
Innes. 7.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's 6 as well, Mr. Chairman.
It's a tied vote, that's down to me, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Then I will vote for Councillor Ian McGuinness. That means that Councillor Ian McGuinness is now the Vice Chair. We'll sign the declaration.
Item 6, Mr. Chairman.
Yet to receive the Vice Chairman's declaration of representatives.
18,512. Yep.
So item 7 is confirmation of the election results. We've got to hand you over to the clerk who will read now. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, for the Kingsley and Fitzwilliam Ward, Councillor Alan Dodson, Councillor Keith Fernie, Councillor Linda Firth, Councillor Peter Hardacre, and Councillor Carol Whitehead. For the Hemsley South and West Ward, Councillor Kevin Conway, Councillor Lynn Morton, Councillor Ian McGuinness, Councillor Adi Abinabi, and Councillor Rob Allroyd. Hemsley East Ward, Councillor Stan Bates, Councillor Maxine Hurd, Councillor Gary Kendall, Councillor David Pearson, and Councillor Paul Stevens.
Thank you, Alan. For item 8, I'll hand over to the Vice Chair. I'll have to stand out because it's the Chairman's allowance.
Item 8 is the Chairman's allowance. To determine the amount of the Chairman's allowance in pursuance of Section 15, Paragraph 5 of the Local Government Act 1972.
It's currently £2,000, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Yeah, it's currently at £2,000. Anyone want to raise it or keep it at the same or reduce it? Any nominations? Same.
Can we not get it put out to give to community groups and stuff instead of giving it to Chair?
Is that a proposal?
Yes.
You have a seconder for that? To give it out? Seconder?
proposal is...
Mr Vice Chairman, sorry, can I just correct
Sorry.
the item is chairman's allowance.
Right, okay.
So it's either no allowance,
Right.
same allowance or different amount.
Right.
If the council wants in due course to change that,
Right.
to give it to others, it can do, but not on this item.
Not on this item, it has to come on later on.
Yeah.
Right, that can be added to another agenda. So basically, this item is to either keep it the same, no allowance, or increase it or reduce it. So we had a proposal to keep it the same.
Keep it the same.
Keep it the same. All in favour? That's passed.
Thanks, Ian. So item 9, calendar of meetings to agree times and venue of council meetings for the ensuing year. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. My understanding, the consensus among members is to just have council meetings rather than committee meetings too, and that those council meetings will be on the first and third Thursday of each month, starting at 7 p.m. In the main hall here, Mr Chairman. It's up to members now to propose and second that.
Do you want to exclude it as well?
Yeah, the other thing in addition to that was that we have agreed in principle to have public exclusion before the public meeting. The reason being that quite possible that we could make a decision in that meeting that we could reveal to the council at the public meeting. So it would be 7 o'clock start for the public exclusion. So, roughly speaking, it would be 7:30 before the public meeting started. You can attend that to see apologies and absence, but then it would mean having to leave until after public exclusion and going back to the public meeting. But that's entirely up to the public's choice what they do. So, have we got any questions on that? Comments? Yes, go on, Candy.
I actually think it's a good idea because sometimes you have exclusion, and I think it's a good idea to have the exclusion before the meeting, because in the past you've had something in exclusion and we've had to then wait another month before we actually then find out what's been agreed or actioned. Sometimes you have to wait for the minutes to be able to see that, and they're not always published for some time. So personally, I think it's a good idea, but that's just myself.
We've just described exactly the reason why we did that, Cassie, and it's nice to be in harmony with the public, if you don't have me saying so. So can we take a vote on that then? In favour? None against? So that motion's passed. Standing panels. To appoint members to serve on 2 panels, respectively for grievances, disciplinaries and complaints. So I think we need nominations.
Yes.
So have we got any nominations?
That'll depend on what it is, because some members may be excluded, mightn't they?
Yes, need a minimum, absolute minimum of 3 members nominating tonight, please. At least 3, preferably more, but at least 3.
Ideally about 5 on each panel.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can be the same people.
I think any volunteers will be starting
Oh,
to
they won't.
go to nominations. Yeah. Okay, so can we get nominations for that, please?
I'll nominate Paul. And I'll nominate Gary.
Okay.
I'll nominate Paul.
Keith was Abby, was one, yeah.
Kevin, you want to? And Carol?
Yeah.
You're nominating each other.
Yeah.
Which panel would you like?
I think it's grievance, disciplinaries and complaints.
So that's 7, so that's, yeah, that's fine. Put your vote on.
All in favour? Love it when a plan comes together. So Item 11 is financial regulations, standing orders and code of conduct. To review and adopt the council financial regulations, standing orders and the code of conduct as it stands now, I believe.
Yeah, it just needs to go into it.
Any questions on it? Comments?
Just needs to go
We vote in favour.
We can review those
Yes.
Yeah.
in the future, can't we?
Just needs to propose them, Mr. Chairman. Second.
Proposal, please. Second it. In favour? So item 12 is data protection, general data protection regulations, GDPR as it's known. To review and adopt the council's freedom of information policy and publication as it stands. Again, it's the same as it is now. Proposer?
I'll propose it. Second.
In favour? I love this. Policies, item 14, to review and adopt all policies.
13, Mr. Chairman.
13.
Sorry, I know I made a mistake. 13, freedom of information policy and publication scheme, to review and adopt the council's freedom of information policy and publication scheme. Yes?
I noticed that there's not anything on the agenda that specifically covers this, so I hope that my question falls in at 13, and it relates to the financial audit that we've done. Is it possible for me to ask this question about
The financial audit.
the financial audit that we've done?
Forensic
audit. It's not on the agenda, so that,
If you don't mind, we can raise that in public,
yeah, of course.
because the question has to be related to the item on the agenda we're discussing, if you're okay with that. So, the item 14.
13 needs voted on, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so
We did it, so we did it. 14, sorry, yeah.
propose and second. Then. Propose to keep the policy as is. To be changed later. Okay.
Yeah, tend to change the...
All in favour? Passed. Item 14 is policies, to review and adopt all of the policies. Have I already done that one? No, you took me back.
Do it anyway.
Yeah. Equal opportunities, media, social media, whistleblowing, dignity at work and retention of documents.
Have all these been updated?
Most of them, but the quality needs doing now.
I'm not passing them then. They're not updated.
What about confidentiality? Does that go with this council?
Sorry, what do you mean by that?
Just in general, confidentiality between each
On
other?
that one.
We are subject to GDPR and confidentiality rules. As far as updation, we can do that later. couldn't
Yeah,
we?
we can, yeah.
So,
Propose, Mr. Chairman.
so any proposals? Second.
I'll second it.
In favour, please? The asset register, item 15, is to review and adopt the council's asset register.
Can I propose to re-defer this one? It's to give us more time to actually do a proper review.
Okay, can you, I'll let Cathy ask a question on that.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I've looked at the asset register and there's quite a few items that isn't showing on the asset register. And also I would like to query the valuation of the storage unit. It's on the asset register as £20,000. I've actually got an email from Mr. Draper when I was querying certain costs associated to the storage unit, and it was said that it would be valued when completed at 50,000. and the insurance company would probably verify that. So if something is 50,000 with the insurance company, why is it only showing on the asset register at 20?
There have been questions regarding that, and I think Alan can answer that.
Yeah.
You start you.
The asset register has been updated, but it will be placed on the website after this meeting, so it's circulated to members, but it's going to be deferred anyway. It's procurement cost, not current valuation. So in that example, the procurement cost of £20,000, but obviously you insure it for a higher amount anyway, so it's procurement cost that goes on the asset register, not current valuation.
Well, it actually costs us, according to my figures, up to date now, and there's still incurring costs, and we're up to at least £32,000.
Well, if I say, Cathy, if we vote to defer it, then we look at that, and I'm sure Linda's probably looked at all of that anyway. So, yeah. So, Linda's proposing to defer it. Is there a second? All in favour? That item's deferred. Item 16 is representatives on outside bodies. To appoint 2 voting representatives to the Yorkshire Local Council, which effectively means we've got a local council body that any council can attend, but only 2 can vote. So I'm looking for volunteers.
It's a good idea that we do attend. I don't know if we
Absolutely,
have but where will the venues be? Are they
Sometimes they're on Zoom, but it is quite a wide geographical area because we're in the South Pennine branch, which is like everything from Keighley down through Halifax, Huddersfield down to here. So conceivably, meetings could be in Keighley, but they could also be in Wakefield. So it's a bit of a... But some of them are on Zoom as well. They do a mixed bag. Winter ones tend to be on Zoom, summer ones tend to be in person.
I believe they're normally chair and vice chairs, aren't they?
It is, Mr Chairman. It doesn't have to be, but normally it is, yeah.
Well, I'm willing to, if anybody wants to volunteer for that, is interested in that, I'm willing to step down from it. I lead quite a busy life as it is at the moment.
If it's chair and vice chair, then I'm...
Well, there's 2, so if you want to volunteer for that, you can.
Yeah.
And anyone else wants to take it on. If not, I'll do it if there's nobody else.
You're trying to get out of it a lot.
Yeah. At least I'm honest. So it's like they're me and you. No volunteers. Okay. Item 17 is general power of confidence to confirm the council's eligibility for the general power of confidence. If you need an explanation, I'm sure Alan can provide it.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. To have general power of competence, the council needs to have 3 things. It needs to have at least 2/3 of its members elected rather than co-opted, and this council has 100% of its members elected. It needs to have a qualified town clerk, which I am, and it needs to resolve that it meets the eligibility to have the general power of competence. That resolution is this Mr Chairman.
Thank you, Alan. So I could have a proposal for that. Or any questions on it?
proposer?
Second.
In favour? That's carried. Item 18 is the legal advisors and solicitors to appoint legal advisors and solicitors for the council in respect of general legal matters and human resources. I think we currently have someone applied to do that.
It's Ramsden's and Park Square, Mr Chairman.
Yeah.
What's the situation with human resources?
That's Park Square.
That's Park Square as well.
I think we should change them.
Did we
They're expensive.
did we not have a discussion about possibly putting an HR or a
Voices
part-time
and
HR in
choices.
position within
Voices
the
and
council?
choices and
Sorry,
voices.
Maxine.
There's the Yorkshire Humber Employees Association.
No, we've got voices and choices and voices.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So we could vote to keep it the same now and then look for
And change
other
it when,
companies
yeah,
and then change
yeah,
it as and when.
yeah.
So,
They're expensive. You're ripping us to bits.
Well, we're already paying them, aren't we?
I'm not for that.
We could give it some priority to find alternatives. But we have to make a decision on this tonight, so, any more comments, or does anybody want to propose?
Can we amend check then? We review that within the next
Yeah.
month or two?
We could put it on the agenda in June.
Can do, yeah.
Yeah. If you're okay with that, we can propose it through tonight. Leave that. Sorry, yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, it's pretty similar to purchasing. I would have thought that if you could get, say, 3 different companies to quote and give you their services, then that would allow the council to make a reasonable decision.
I think the council, sorry,
1 or 2.
I think the council would be in favour of getting 3 quotes. You know, best deal. And so we can put that on the agenda for June and discuss it then, and try and get
When
the
it
quotes in
comes
the
to
meantime.
£16,000 for human resources, I think it needs to be gone.
Well, we'll take a vote on it anyway and see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just a question, sorry. In terms of human resource advisors, does the current company give you insurance against any claims? So if you are taken to court for wrongful dismissal,
No.
you are indemnified against that cost?
No.
No. So in that case, is it not worth considering a company like Kroner, who do a all-in package for health and safety and human resources? They'll provide you all your policies. They'll also provide an insurance policy both for health and safety and HR, so that if you are taken to court because of a HR or health and safety issue, they will actually put their barristers in, they will deal with it, and as long as you followed their advice during that process, there is no cost bared by the council or the local community for doing so.
I think it's an excellent idea to be indemnified in that way.
So Kroner are the largest health and safety and human resource advisors in the world, and because they're such a huge entity, the fees are extremely reasonable, and they give you full coverage. So any policies you've currently got in place, they'll review, and if any need amending, they'll assist you in doing so. And that covers both health and safety and HR. You can just take one or the other out, but it's much more cost effective to do both.
Well, Alan is making note of what you're saying here, and we can certainly look at it. You don't work for them by any chance?
No, definitely not. No. It's just somebody we use in one of our companies, and they've been extremely useful in the past when we've had HR problems, and they've dealt with it efficiently, and it's come at no cost to us.
If there's a benefit and a cost saving, then absolutely, we'll certainly look at it. But as it stands
From
today,
a cost perspective, we employ 40 odd people, and we will pay less than less than £220 a year, a month, sorry, for all those employees.
it sounds very interesting. So, are you proposing that we cancel this matter?
Yes.
Anybody want to second that? We can vote on it. Yeah. And anybody wants to propose that we keep it?
Mr Chairman, we currently use Ramsden's for the legal work on Club Terrace, so
That's general legal matters, aren't it?
yeah. So you're talking about HR then?
I thought we were talking about HR.
Sorry.
Yeah. We are talking HR, aren't we? That's
No, I'm talking about the legal matters.
it. Yeah, but there might be cost penalties to cancel it then, wouldn't there?
Well, Ramsden's we use on Club Terrace and for the tenancy as well.
So that could be complicated.
And look how far that's going.
Resolved to take no new cases under them. Just the existing cases run their course and that's it.
Yeah.
So we could employ 2
Yeah.
different ones?
Yeah.
Let Ramsden's run with Club
Yeah.
Terrace?
So there's no penalties if we do
No.
that. So really the proposal is to let the deal with general, with Ramsden's run out, and in the meantime look for an alternative.
Yeah.
Is that a good proposal?
Yeah.
All in favour?
Can I just ask what is happening with Club Terrace, please?
The what, sorry?
Can I ask what's happening with Club Terrace?
If I could just,
Or do you want,
I'm
I can come back at public questions.
well, I was going to bring that up because before public questions, I'm going to make a statement on behalf of the council, and it refers to that. But you'll be free to ask questions then anyway. So item 19 is town council meetings. To approve the respective minutes of the council meeting held on the 23rd of March 23 and the extraordinary council meeting held on the 2nd of May 23 as detailed in minute book 7. So I think you've all been circulated the minutes, so it's a case of proposing and seconding and voting. Unless you've got a query on the minutes. Got a proposer? Okay. Second Ian. All in favour?
Can you initial on there? Initial. Initial. Just initial on your initial on your and then full signature and date on there. 18/5/23. Initial.
No checking.
Full signature and date on there. That's the two meetings. 18/5/23.
So we move on to item 20, which is committee and subcommittee meetings. To adopt the minutes of committees and their respective subcommittees as follows. Committees Leisure and Recreation on the 6th of April 23. I think we've all been circulated them, haven't we? Propose and second, please. Paul and Lynn. All in favour?
Initial on there. Full signature on there. 18/5/23.
Keep distracted, I forgot what I was on. Item 20 has been approved.
Yeah.
21 is internal controls and internal audit. To review the efficacy of the system of internal works to include the internal auditor's report for the year 31st of March 23 and to appoint an internal auditor and confirm the scope of internal audit for 23-24.
Mr. Chairman, if they're going to refer, you take them together 1, 2 and 3. If they're going to be deferred.
Yeah, so I think we can cover 21, 22 and 23 because I think there's a proposal to defer those as well.
Yep, I'll defer them.
Yeah.
I'll second you.
Yeah. All in favour of deferring that? Okay, so then go through that quick. That brings us to item 24, publication, public question time. And I did tell you that I was going to say something. I made bullet points at home and I forgot. So I'm going to have to wing it. But if I miss anything, then the councils are welcome to come in and add to it.
Right, my question, what's happening regarding the terrace?
Yeah, well, you'll be aware that the last council, desperately I would say, wanted to sell it, and we managed to stop that. And the original decision was deferred to this new council. And at the moment, we want to continue to defer it. Because there's more to this. I obtained all the documentation regarding Club Terrace last week, and I've looked at them, and I can tell you I've also passed them on to John Trickett, our MP, who's getting expert opinions on this, because I can't go into detail of it because we can't discuss the bids and stuff like that. But what we've agreed in principle with this council, and we'll be voting on it next month, is that when we have all the information, valuations, and the options that we can do with that, because I'm not ruling out selling it, we're not ruling anything out, but there may be other options which I can't go into now, but what we've agreed is that we'll have a full open meeting with the public, and we'll put these options to you, and then we'll have a full consultation with the public, I will also ask John Trickett to come along with the district councillors, and we'll have a full open meeting about it and decide, and we will be guided by what the public wants us to do with that. Does that answer your question?
So if you're looking at deferring it and all the other options, why are you still engaging, is it
Ramsden's.
Yes.
The valuers, because if we haven't decided that we're not going to sell it. If we decided we weren't going to sell it, that would incur penalties with the valuer, and it could be up to £40,000. So it'd be silly to say we're not selling it if that's the end decision that we do decide to sell it. We'd have to engage another valuer and incur another
So
fee.
why, what clause is it that's in there to say that you, if it doesn't go ahead, that you've got to pay £40,000?
I've not seen that, Cathy. I don't
All
know.
right.
Percentage at sale price, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, they normally charge a percentage, like when you sell your house. The estate agent will want a percentage of the fee.
Right, okay.
But I've not seen it written in stone, but I want to see it written in stone anyway before we... but if I could just ask you to bear with us, we will be a full public consultation on that when the time comes, when we've got all the information and options that we need. Yeah.
Hi. First of all, I'd like to commend you on the air of respect which you clearly have from the audience and your fellow
Oh, thank you.
members of the committee, which your predecessor rarely saw. It's a nice place to be. My question really relates to the deep dive, the financial audit, the forensic audit.
Yeah, I was going to come to that as well, but I'll take it now.
Yeah, so it goes to 2020, is it? Did it go to 2020 or 2020? What's the cut-off date?
2019 to 2020.
2019 to 20, yeah.
And it's amounts over £300. And I just want to ask that if there are any anomalies that are uncovered, will that be extended to amounts below £300? And also, will you be investigating the more recent anomalous transactions as well?
I think the best answer I could give you, and I was going to cover this, what we have agreed, in principle again, that the forensic audit is going to cost in the region of £20,000. I think you're aware of that. You know. It may or may not produce something. It may be, my opinion, it will probably produce some incompetence and maybe some rank stupidity, but that's not illegal anyway. And it's, you can't recover that money. So what we have suggested, and we'll be putting it to that we have a survey of the public. So you let us know what you want us to do with that, because the risk is we could spend £20,000 and it could come up with nothing. It might come up with something that the police might be interested in and want to investigate, and then they would take it over. But that's a risk, and it's £20,000.
Yeah.
It was deferred to this council, and that we want to involve the public as much as we can in these decisions. So if we'd like you to partake in a survey and give us your opinions on what we should do, and we'll be guided by that.
I appreciate that the forensic auditors are an expensive body of people,
Yeah.
but from an independent financial person's perspective, often someone with those qualifications can uncover things which justify spending the additional £20,000 on with a professional body.
Yeah.
So maybe that's another room.
Yeah.
An independent financial person,
Well, that's
£800 a day.
yeah. We will provide us. We've got some very talented people in this new council, qualified to do that, which may save us money and guide us and help to guide us what we should do and what areas we should look at. But obviously that takes time, and so really I'm asking you to bear with us on that. We are working on it. In fact, we have been for quite a while now since. So maybe on the second meeting next month we might have some more information. And so I can't tell any more than that's where we are at the moment.
But this forensic thing went to ours, and we all agreed that we wanted it going, so why can you change decisions?
I haven't changed anything, of it was deferred to the
You're
new
talking
council.
as though you've discussed it, whether,
Well, if I come to that, no.
what?
Could you just bear with me? When the election or the non-election took place, we were all elected unopposed, if you like. Every councillor here fully expected to be fighting an election, but we didn't have to. If the opposition don't turn up, what can you do? You know? But we used that time to meet and get to know each other and discuss these issues. Nothing's been agreed officially, it's just that this forensic audit was deferred to this new council and we have to make a decision on it. And we don't want to do that until we are clear whether it's worthwhile or not, and we want the public opinion, we want the public involved in all of this, you know. I don't...
Public opinion, public opinion's been there for a long time, hasn't it?
Well, I'm not aware of that. I've not seen anything, there was no survey done, maybe a few people here. I'm not sure what the problem is here.
Well, you ain't doing, will you?
Well, I would do if I
It's
understood
as
it.
bad as the other one.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Just come in here, please.
Yes, carry on, Maxine.
I have tried to explain everything that's gone off. Obviously, it's on other people's heads, and I'm just dumbfounded by it all. I need to go on this.
It's us and them, it's just like it was before, you can feel atmosphere in here. You can feel the atmosphere, it's us and them.
Sorry, yeah, go on, Carol.
I like you. I've been sat where you are last year. I was fed up of coming in and not getting to know what we're going on. We've come on here. We've not got a clue what we've been left with or what they've done. We're wanting to go through everything to find out where we stand to help York, to us. I'm still public. I'm still York. I want to know
Well,
before I sign anything.
Why didn't y'all stick together instead of having knifing certain people?
We are all stuck together.
It's a waste of time because it's like before. It's us and them. There's a knife in certain people.
It's not going to be us and them.
Can I ask where you actually base that? What do you base it on? Right, because I can tell you now. No, can I answer? And then you can take me apart if you want to. Right? We've heard accusations already about cliques. We've heard accusations about secret meetings. There haven't been cliques or secret meetings. There have been meetings with the legal advisors, and everybody here knew about that, and everybody here was invited to attend. Some people couldn't attend. Right? I'm going to finish, and then you can come back to me. Right? We were then asked to keep things very close to ourselves, right, because we could give that information to people who could make decisions and could have forced through a sale. So we had to sit on that. We told people as soon as we were able to do so. Right? Now, as for having knives in people, that's not the case. Right? It really isn't the case. And I know what you're doing, and I know what you're looking. Right? But there are...
You know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I definitely know what you're looking at.
Can I just stop? Can I stop everybody there? Because it's not going to descend into what happened before. Please listen to me. Excuse me.
I am.
Can you respect the chair, please?
Can you respect me as well?
I've not disrespected anyone. What I'm saying is this: that we're not going to descend into what happened before. I'm absolutely determined that. You've stated your opinion, and it's all that is an opinion. It's not a fact. And and David has described what's happened. We're discussing here serious issues, not personalities. This council is all one council, and I was coming on to that. Right? Because we were elected unopposed, we got together and we decided that we were all going to work together. Right? Could you please not interrupt? You can come back when I've finished. We all work together. We know that it's been portrayed as a Labour controlled council. It is not. It is controlled by every councillor. Every councillor has got every right to say what they want and vote according to what their judgment is. There's no party politics here. And we've all agreed that we're going to be as honest and open with it as we can with the public. So I actually do resent what you're saying about the previous council, because I'm not associated with them. It was a pretty low bar to, you know, and I think we're a lot better than that. And I'll be honest with you, but you are stating opinions, not facts. We will give you the facts. Whether you believe them or not, I'm sorry, I can't help that.
Okay.
But we've conducted this meeting properly, courtesy and with respect according to the code of conduct. So if you want to come back now, but please be courteous and don't accuse people of things that you don't know
I just
true.
think, Chair, that some things are personal.
Well, they're not.
Can I have
I didn't talk to you, I'm talking to Chair.
Look, please, please respect the chair. If you want to speak, you can speak.
Speaking
But
to you.
look, I'm talking to other people here. I'm talking to other people.
Well, talk to other people then.
I have said to this council, and everybody's agreed with me, that nothing is personal about this. Everything is business, council business. That's all we're interested in. That's the only thing I make judgments on and vote on, and I believe that everybody else has assured me that that's what they will do. And that's how we intend to go. So there is no personal things going on here at all. You want to say something, Maxine?
Right, I'd like to just make a statement. If it'd let me explain everything what had happened with forensic, I could have explained it a bit better. The thing is, I don't believe there is some being pushed out at the minute. We've been excluded for some meetings, we've been excluded from some stuff. There's been secret meetings going off, there's emails going off, and I got told that was because I didn't have a council email, that I wasn't included in these emails. I've never had a council email, and they all know this. And as from today, I am not a Labour person. Thank you.
And neither am I.
Come on then.
No, she's still a councillor.
I'm still a councillor, but I'm not a Labour councillor.
I'm afraid this is not the business of this council. This is getting personal. And
It's not getting personal. You will not let anybody speak,
I've already
and you will
said,
not
we're
let
not
anybody
going
have their views.
we're not-
It's your view or no view.
we're not going there, Maxine.
You've gone there. We've gone there. I've got everything, all the stuff what you've sent. I was willing to work with you all. It's put you all, it's been your all in firing line with the stuff you're doing. I'm telling you now. I've tried to explain to you, and Carol told me to not get my knickers in a twist.
Excuse me, Max.
I was
No,
trying to
we're not
explain
going-
to you what was happening. And when he shits on you all, you'll know. Because you'll all fall and he'll be raising, because he's making all the decisions. He is. And you've all made a
Maxine,
decision before
Maxine.
you've walked into this council.
Maxine, your behaviour is
No,
falling
my
below
behaviour isn't.
It's been falling below the standards, and I'm asking you not to carry on with this. It's very personal. It's not council
Because I
business.
know I've got the majority.
It is not council business what you are trying to raise here, and you're not making true statements at all.
I am making true statements down. And if anybody would like me to forward the emails, I'll forward them.
I'm asking you to stop now and not pursue this line. It is not
Stop
council business.
accusing me of
It's
stuff what
personal.
I'm not doing.
Nobody's
And I will
accusing you of
behave.
anything. I've made
Like you
one.
could kill, like you-
I'm not going any further with this, Maxine. Either stop it, and this is a warning, either stop it now, or I'll ask you to leave. And it's up to you. This is not good at all, and it's not happening.
Scott, it's happened.
All right, you got me. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
I've got a couple of questions. First, I want to know what's happening at LP21.
LP21 in what regards?
Which was local planning.
No.
We're still waiting on information for LP21. But it's not on amendments yet, modifications. So, Julie has.
So is it still Greenbelt land?
Yeah, a minute. Yeah.
Well, also that land is where it's actually road as well.
Well, it's gone into modification because of the archaeological dig. Is that right, Julie?
Archaeology evaluations are outstanding.
So there's not yet change.
Yeah.
It's still going through.
I also want to bring up Stator Water Park and Baylor Park.
Yeah, and that's
There's
a good
been
question.
3 bank holidays. There's metal fence up all the way round. I really hope what kids to play on. beach has been taken away. It's a right mess. We used to have 4 grandchildren down there when I was young. You go down there, you can't even walk on golf course, never gets caught.
Well, Baylor Park, not all through these. Baylor Park.
Why you have powerful from the council? Why the council run?
Coming up in charges,
But I'm not in Wakefield, I'm in Answer.
Yeah, but Walk Park comes under these. Baylor Park comes under Wakefield.
Right.
Baylor Park is Wakefield Council's responsibility, it's their property.
But we said, it should be, well, it shouldn't have to load the sand on that beach where you keep it.
Yeah.
That beach really is
Yeah.
the way you play things.
Well, I think Alan can explain to you what happened about the beach. But you're absolutely right. The water park needs an uplift. It's been in disrepair for 4 years. And the amount of maintenance it needs, I believe it's 50,000 for the pass, is that right?
A bit more than that, 60,000.
Yeah. Now, I have asked the deputy leader of Wakefield Council to meet with this council on Monday at the water park, because to show him the state that it's in, and hopefully we might get some grants, what grants are available, and he's coming to meet with us, because I absolutely agree with you, and I think everybody else here agrees with it. The water park's been neglected for too long. There's been no investment in it, maintenance, all that. We're in harmony with that, I agree with you. But, you know, it costs money, and we have to budget for that, how we do it. But there are grants available, I've been assured, and we're exploiting every area we can where to get money, because we want to lift it back up to what it should be.
Can we ask when you have this meeting if you could find out about Baylor Park?
Well, it's their department, yeah, so I will.
So can you even come
I
back to
certainly will,
let
yeah.
us know why
Yeah.
none of the grass has been cut on golf course? People can't walk through properly.
Yeah, we can do
It's not
that.
been
Yes, Cathy.
maintained.
Can you like Cathy?
The reason that it's not being cut is because there's a water leak. It's actually, if you go on Friends of Baylor Park, I'm just telling you what's actually come back as well.
Well, thanks for that, Cathy. But we will certainly raise these issues with the deputy leader, because Parks and Recreation are his brief. So, well, that's the reason we asked him to come. So you'll be there, have you made a note of that, no? To cover that with him.
Prime Mr. Chairman, down at the water park, there's somebody lives down there rent free. Now, one of my old friends who lived there before Baywatch Sam, he
Can't mention stuff in
somebody put in his rental, drove him out, and then they moved her in. She's more jobs there than I don't know what. How come she lives rent-free, energy-free, but yet Adrian has had to move out? It's our money what keeps this place going, and she should pay her fair share.
I have to tell you, and I'm sorry to say this, but staffing issues cannot be discussed in public.
Well, it's time it was.
Well, we can't break the law, and, you know. The council is an employer, a responsible employer, and they have the right to confidentiality. Any matters regarding staff cannot be discussed in public.
Well, how come then she gets rent-free and other people who used to run it didn't?
I've just explained to you, we cannot discuss staffing issues in public.
Well,
So I can't answer your question.
Mr. Chairman,
Sorry?
is discuss it amongst yourself and make her pay rent, like everybody else had to do.
I can't reveal to you what goes on in public
All right,
exclusion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll take your word for it.
And I'm sorry I can't, but that's the legal situation.
Regarding the water park, we had last year where you were going to upgrade the toilets, but the previous year, you said, not you, but the previous council had said that they were going to retile the toilets, etc., etc. Was that actually ever carried out, Alan?
No.
It wasn't. So even though it was agreed,
I think it was refurbished, but not to that degree. No.
because people are saying that it's disgusting.
I was in the water park the other day and I used the toilet, so I don't disagree with that. And there's lots of areas that we need to look at. Yes?
Have you looked at, Alan said they looked at soft play area in the cafe bit. It's disgusting. Alan says it's been steam cleaned and that, but you can't let kids play on that.
It's cleaned every week and it's roster as well.
Carpet's filthy. You shouldn't let babies crawl around on that, Alan.
It is cleaned every week, Tina, it is.
What?
I think you're saying that the play area gets cleaned. She's on about the carpet near play area.
That. The sensory, the soft play things, it's cracked and that. All stitches filthy. I mean, I wasn't in it that long since with my grandchild. And somebody had wet in it and they just put a cloth and wiped it over. Now when a child wheezed on it, it wasn't shutting down really, didn't it?
Well, it should be clean.
It's now, it's awful.
Well, Alan's made a note of that. We'll make a point of looking at that on Monday.
It
When we
wants
visit.
redoing.
Is there a maintenance programme in place, a cleaning programme and things like that? Yes. And who oversees it? Who checks that that is actually
The manager.
The manager.
So there is an inspection regime. Yeah.
Is Jackie a manager down there? Oh, yeah, she's she ought to be manager,
Any more questions?
I do have a question about Duke Street, the land, and I'll be transparent from the off that I'll be very careful in what I say because I am a party that's bidded on that land.
All right.
Okay, so I won't go into detail, but obviously you talk about where you are deferring it and things like that at the moment. I'm a resident of the village and I'm happy either way, whether we're a winning bidder, not a winning bidder, whether it goes on to be used for other things. The land got put up for public sale and it was agreed by all the council that that sale would obviously be put to market and the best bid would win that. That's now obviously changing, and from a resident perspective, if you then in 3-4 months' time decide to go back to that sale, none of those bids will be relevant, and I can say that confidently because I know the other people that have bidded, and bids only stand for a period of time. We're in a market condition at the moment where house prices are very flat, they're not going down, but they're not going up, and nobody can see where that market's going to go at this present time. So is the council considering whether they are going to get best value for that land based on what's happening in the market and the fact that they will possibly have to go back out to re-tender? So that's my perspective from a resident. From a business who's bidded on that land, I do find it frustrating, and again, whether we're a winning bidder or not isn't the point. But it's frustrating that the town council, and I appreciate it's not yourselves that have put that up for sale, but you've agreed for that to go to sale. You'll have a fee to pay to the agents if you don't go through with that. But have you considered the actual implications on the businesses that have bidded on that land? And the cost implications they've actually incurred through that bid? I can say this, I won't go into the bid, but I can tell you it cost us £21,000 to put this board on that land. And I think it's irresponsible that the council make the decision to sell something and then change their mind, not make the mind. Businesses need to be aware of what they're doing. We employ a lot of people in this local area and we need to know whether we are a winning bidder. The bid's been in 3 months, and if it's not, we can then look at putting a bid on another piece of land to keep those people in employment. We're not Dale Olympics, we're not Barrett's, we haven't got huge lumps of money. So at the minute, the offer we put forward on that land, that money has to stay sat in the bank, untouched, at risk of then other people, being out of work because we haven't bid on another site in the hope we're going to win this one. So there's multiple considerations that people aren't taking into consideration, and there should be. And as I say, from a resident, whether that land gets developed or not, that's fine. And if there's better uses for it for the community, I'm all there to support it. And we'll do, we do whatever we can within the community to support the community. But I really do think we need to be considering the bigger picture and not getting into the dispute about it, but all this about it's not being done the proper process and everything else, and people contacted the agent and didn't get a response. When you're doing tenders of this size, when you contact the agent, they do a financial check before they will release information, and that is the correct way within land purchasing and land buying. They won't just send the information out to anybody because it costs them money as well. So when you first make an inquiry, they make a check that you can financially afford to purchase that land before they send any information out. So I just want people to understand, and controversial or not, I'm happy for anyone to ask me any questions after this meeting or during this meeting, but I just want you to understand there's cost implications to businesses. We're not a big business, and the money we've set aside for that site, we need to make a decision on whether we are spending it on another site or not. And in 2-3 months' time, when you come back and say, right, we are considering selling it now, the offers quite possibly aren't going to be the same from anybody, and they certainly won't have gone up.
Well, I could respond, you put a time scale on it that I'm not familiar with. I didn't say 3 or 4 months, I didn't put a time scale on it.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean to put words in your mouth, I'm not referring.
I am aware that...
I'm just using examples, sorry.
Yeah, I am aware that businesses take risks in ventures like this, because all the bidders, however many they are, would have taken the same risk. But, and somebody's going to lose out. But my answer to your question is, although we can't go into detail, we do want to look at the big picture, and I think that's been the error that's been made. And there was never an agreement to sell that I'm aware of. In fact, the decision was to defer it to this council, so there couldn't have been any. There might have been one in principle, but it was not passed at this council. And I've said to Cathy earlier on, we've got expert analysis on this, people looking at it, and I wouldn't want to vote to sell that land until I was confident it was the best thing for this community. And
No,
that's where
sorry,
we
just
are.
to clarify any confusion if I didn't come across properly there. I'm not saying that it was agreed to sell to a particular person. What I'm saying is the council voted for that land to be put up on the open market.
Yes, they did.
And the tender process for that land.
Yeah.
In doing so, all the companies that they bid, and yes, at their own risk, and it happens all the time, incur costs in doing so. The normal process, and the process that was in the tender pack that came out, would be that all bids would be received by a certain date, which there were. They would then be taken to the council advised on the best bid, and then the council to accept, obviously, a bid. And while there's no guarantee of any bid being accepted, my point I'm making is that the previous council agreed to put it on the market and sell it. That's then been deferred and deferred and deferred, and the bids went in some 2 months ago nearly. And I think it's about time the council make their mind up whether they are selling it or not. And I appreciate you need to go for expert advice because there's not confidence that the previous council followed the procedures, and because everybody's imparted to them procedures, they need to make sure for their own selves as councillors that you're doing your duty correct, and I'm all for that. All I'm saying is that the matter does need concluding.
Absolutely. I don't think anybody would disagree with what you're saying. What I am saying is the decision made by the previous council, it was the previous council, and I can't speak for them, but it was deferred once to my knowledge to this council. I don't think it was deferred before, although they did try the best to get the sale pushed through. But there was no public consultation with that I'm aware of. And it's a big asset, and it's a big decision to make. And I don't think anybody on this council wants to be responsible for that if we get it wrong. It's important that we get it right, and it does need public consultation. As I said, there'll be a full public meeting where the people can speak the piece, ask questions. Hopefully we'll have the MP here and everything. Go through all the options, and at the end of the day it might be to sell it. And we want it concluded as quick as anybody else. But it has to be the right decision for this community, because this council, its only interest is what's best for this community. That's our only interest, and that's how we will act.
I support exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
I'm not,
thank you.
Again, this isn't me from the business, but what I'm saying is I support exactly what you're saying. We all need to make sure it's the right decision for the community.
And it needs expediting, I accept that.
People are aware that obviously, there is bigger pictures to things and there's considerations that people may not have considered.
Well, I think you've made your point there. It's understood. Yes, Robert.
Is that all I did or not?
Not allowed to tell us. It's commercially sensitive at the moment, and until we've made a decision, that information just can't be revealed.
Stan, can I?
Yes.
I think I'm right in saying it's just been very unfortunate, the timing of the selling of this land, that it's come between two councils. And we've got 10 new councillors on the council at the moment who weren't party to all the facts and figures, and they do need a little bit of time to get to know those facts and figures and come to the right decision. But that's one of the, in my opinion, that's one of the reasons why it's dragged out a little bit longer, unfortunately. Okay.
Okay with that?
No, perfect.
Sorry, I couldn't give you any more information there. So, yeah.
Expecting nothing more, as I say,
Yeah, you made your point, and it's understood. Have we got anything else? Are we concluding now then? Yes. Well then, I think it's safe for me to declare the meeting closed, and thanks for your attention. Hope we're all going home and happy that we used to do anyway.
You want to leave?
Kept taking me down. Thank you.